why. Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 21 of the Washed Athlete podcast. It is official. Our podcast is old enough to drink. Let's give a nice round of applause. Woo, good for us.
We
survived long enough for that to happen. And
it can run a car soon.
So I think yesterday, I believe, the final episode of season 1 of Obi-Wan has just dropped. And I think we all have a lot of opinions about that. So I think we're just going to hop right into that. And so what did you guys think about, I guess let's just start with like this most recent episode, the finale, and then we'll kind of like move on and kind of talk about the series as a whole, because it was only 6 episodes, but you know, we'll start off with the week and then kind of just give your general thoughts.
Yeah, I think on like first note, like it's sad that Raj and Andres can't be here because they're definitely like, especially Raj is like a Star Wars nut. Like he's watched everything like Rebels and stuff, so it's sad that he can't be here for this. But what did I think? Episode 6, the finale was spoilers by the way for Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
as we get into it,
yeah.
Obviously. But episode 6 was everything I wanted it to be. Like I felt like they kind of lost themselves a little bit in episode 4 to 5. The series lost a little bit of ground with me. And then I felt like episode 6 like picked it up exactly. Like I wanted to see Obi-Wan and Vader fight. Like it would have been very disappointing if they didn't fight. But I like the way it ended. I think they segued things nicely. And I think ultimately the show was about the tragic arc of Obi-Wan, like having to pretty much, he thinks he killed his trainee because he went to the dark side. It's like the tragedy of him. And that's what they focus on throughout the whole show, but really in that like last episode. But then you kind of see how like Luke and Leia kind of like keep him afloat and he doesn't go back into hiding quite as much. So I thought it wrapped up the story really nicely. And I really enjoyed it. I was like, I think with a lot of the MCU shows coming out, I kind of was like expecting a little bit of a letdown finale because that's what we've been getting a lot of.
Yep.
And then I didn't get let down. And I was kind of like, wait, this is pretty typical. Like the Mandalorian finales are the best episodes of the season. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember the Book of Boba Fett finale, but I also believe that was good. So now I'm like, actually, Star Wars does a pretty good finale in terms of their TV shows.
It's almost like a flip for the difference between Star Wars and Marvel. Yeah,
like the continuity sometimes during the Star Wars, like, I don't know if that actually happened in the like movies timeline, but I don't know. I really enjoyed episode 6. I thought it was great. What about you guys?
Jacob, do you want to hit it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I'm not going to give as in-depth of like reasoning for you as you just did, but I did enjoy it, and like just from a base level of watching, it was like I thought it was good, but also enjoyable. And afterwards, I went on like social media, like Instagram and TikTok, and I was seeing like different like things that could have been like intentional, which possibly likely could be, but like details that I hadn't like picked up when I was watching it, like a different person like cuts off like a different part of like Vader's face mask. It was like representing this person, which was cool.
It's so good, yeah.
Like that's I think that's just something I was seeing, and I was like, wow, that's actually like really cool. Not a detail I would have picked up on the first time. So I thought it was very good. I wish Marvel could also just take some of the DC things because I would just make things so much easier. But yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
I mean, I really liked the way it was wrapped up. I thought because like you, Justin, it was kind of episodes 4 and 5. It was kind of like a lull. I was like, I don't really know where they're going with the series because it kind of seemed like Obi-Wan kept kind of just like getting beat up and like losing all the time. And it's like, well, like, isn't he supposed to be the Jedi Master still?
Yeah.
Like, he's supposed to still be that guy by the time that episode 4 rolls around, where he's kind of this older, wiser guy. But it was like I almost lost it, and then it was like that end scene with Vader where he pulls the ship down. It's like, okay, they know that people still love Vader. I think they're going to be good for episode 6, and then obviously it was a great fight scene between him and Obi-Wan, and then I think even the way that they handled Leia, where like everybody kind of like was like a little wishy-washy with her at the beginning, where it's like, oh, she's annoying, whatever, but I feel like everybody kind of has come around on her because like it makes sense. It's like, yeah, she's an entitled brat at first.
Yeah.
Like watch the show. Like she has a character arc. I think it's the same thing with the Inquisitor, Reva.
Yeah.
where it's like immediately everybody's like, I don't like her, she's too aggressive. It's like, yeah, she's a bad guy. That's the point. She's supposed to be evil. But then by the end of it, it kind of gives her this whole arc where it's like she's only seeking revenge. But then she realizes that's not what she wants. Like she just wants peace. And it's like, that's the point, guys. Just wait till the series is over. And I think that they did a very, very good job at like actually tying all those loose ends together. And so that was a very satisfying ending, but they still have some room to like kind of expand on. Because they did just kind of have Qui-Gon kind of showed up right at the end. But I actually kind of did like how they handled that, how they weren't just like shoehorning him in and just like, okay, now Qui-Gon, and there's going to be this whole other angle. It's kind of right at the end. It's like hinting at a little bit more. It's like where he can just kind of like learn to be a true, like, I guess more in touch with the Force, I think would probably be where they would head with that. So I really like that.
Is there any reason?
Yeah, and I think. Okay,
go ahead. Is there any reason why Qui-Gon gets as much hype as he does? I feel like he's relatively hyped up.
I don't know.
I think it's just because like, in terms of the timeline, not per se like when the movies were released, he's like the first Jedi we really get to know. Like he's trained, like Obi-Wan is training our main character Anakin, and Obi-Wan's master is Qui-Gon. So it's like he's kind of like the top of the chain in terms of like the Jedi were really, because we don't really know much about Yoda, even though he's like a very notable figure in the Star Wars community. But like Qui-Gon feels like the first, like the oldest Jedi you get to like know a little bit, but he's also the first one that dies.
And also with that is like Qui-Gon was like, he was different than a lot of other Jedi where like he wasn't like very strict with like the rules of the Jedi. Essentially, he was much more about like trying to like actually raise Anakin and make him like a good person versus just training him to be a Jedi. So I think that's why people kind of attach to him a lot, because he was less of like that very strict Jedi that I think a lot of people kind of critique and like kind of see how it's like, yeah, like a lot of the rules of the Jedi had were very stupid. It didn't make any sense whatsoever. And he was one of the ones kind of critiquing that, especially towards the end of episode 1. So I think that's where people are like, oh, they kind of latch on to him as like, he's like what a Jedi should represent. And then it's like when he dies, it's like, it's kind of just this whole mess of bureaucracy and like religion mixing with politics, and it's like it turns into a mess basically once he dies. So then people are like, the guy is back.
I think moving on to some thoughts about the whole season. I mean, I've heard tons of different things on social media. Like some people really dig it, some people don't really like it. A lot of people talking about like specific characters like Leia and like Reva, and I have some thoughts. Okay, Reva totally is overacted, and it's not, I don't think it's the actress's fault at all. I think it is a writing thing, and they want her to be like 100%. Very overly aggressive, but it's like, her whole ploy is that she's like on the inside trying to like eventually kill Vader.
So she has to play it up.
By being a maniac, I think she definitely like is not achieving out in some ways. I think like she's little over the top, but again, like some people have been like shaming the actress. I don't think it's an actress problem. I think it's a writing problem. So like over the top at times, but her arc is interesting. I think it would have fit well as a TV show, like where you just see her like, it starts with a very similar scene. You kind of see her like rise up through the ranks of the Sith and then get to this position of power. But I still think it's fascinating, like when you learn about like how she's on the inside, but her logic also doesn't make sense.
No,
she just wants revenge, like you said. She just like, why is she going to kill Luke? I don't know.
That was the one thing I was like why is she killing his kid? Like, he has nothing to do with this.
Vader doesn't even know about him. Like, Vader doesn't even know he's born.
You absolutely
he died in childbirth.
That was the one thing at the end of the episode. I'm like, why is she doing this?
Yeah.
Where it's like, because she knows that Anakin is a Vader, but no one knows that Anakin has kids. So she learns that Anakin has kids and goes to murder this kid. And it's like,
for what reason? Like you think if Anakin knew, he would go get the kids?
Exactly. Like you think he would care about Obi-Wan? No, he would go get his kid. Are you kidding me? Oh my god!
So that it cracks me up a little bit, but like, so I think Reva's definitely like a weak point in the series. But I get people have been giving a lot of stuff to Leia. Like, first of all, people have been talking about how, like the actress isn't good.
She's like 10.
She's so young, and I thought she did a good job. And number 2, okay, was she maybe a little bit smarter than you would probably expect for someone at that age? Sure. But her dad is Anakin Skywalker, like the greatest Jedi, like in terms of strength wise, we've like really ever seen.
She
and
is
her
supposed
mom,
to be like using the Force too. I
yes,
think. Like,
and
that's the whole
her
thing.
and her mom was like Senator Amidala, and then she's raised by a bunch of other senators, and she's a princess, and she's super rich. I was like, it makes sense why she's super annoying, entitled, and like smart. I was like, she's got everything, like, and she got the Force.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's Force sensitive. So I was like, I was just like, I hated seeing her get to talk. I was like, is she annoying sometimes? Absolutely, but all kids are annoying.
That's
like,
that's the point, everybody.
That's the point, and that's part of the charm.
Exactly.
So,
it's like she starts off as an annoying brat, and then it's like, through this experience, she becomes less annoying.
And I think Owen's character and Obi-Wan's characters were great. Like, you see Owen, he's got this undeniable love for Luke, but he's also kind of like pissed. He's like, hey, like, this kid is in danger, and you're kind of just like having me raise him. Like he's not associating with you. Like, I don't want him to just do that. So I really enjoyed that part. In terms of the finale, they gave a lot of fan service, but it didn't always feel fan servicey. Like, they did a little thing with the rocks. Obi-Wan has a complete callback to when Rey lifted all those rocks at the end of that cave. Yeah. At the end of The Last Jedi. So I thought that was cool. And then just like the little lines of like, Obi-Wan says again, I will do what I must.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which becomes like his,
and then goes into the full like Clone Wars-esque stance. It's like, why are you doing this?
Also, I don't really know why those rocks didn't hurt Vader as much. It kind of like seems to crumble right as soon as
huge.
Vader, come on.
And I know he had body art. He had some like kind of armor on.
He throws up his arm, and this thing just shatters across him, and it's like, did that even hurt him? Like, at all? And he just like keeps chucking these things, and Vader's like, I can't feel any of this. I'm a robot. It's like,
he just kind of like, and they just kept like shattering off the arms. Like, no, you would fall.
But Vader is that guy, so it did absolutely nothing.
I actually got one question.
Yeah.
Why is it that like you can now in Star Wars you can get stabbed with a lightsaber, but like you can still survive that? And like the movies that we had watched previously, if you got stabbed like in any sort of way, like with a lightsaber, you would die. And now like it seems like everybody's tanking that.
I think it's about placement. I think that's the whole idea. Is like usually in like the scenes where we see it's like it's usually kind of like a hack slash sort of thing. Versus, look, Rise of Skywalker, there's absolutely no excuse. But I will argue in this, with Vader especially, because he is Vader, he could probably place it in a spot that's like a you could probably put it on like the outside of like your hip or something right there, where there's nothing there. That's actually where I think he does actually stab her. I don't remember which side it's on. But like, I'd argue that he could probably put it in like a non-lethal spot, but it is kind of getting to be a trend now where people are just getting stabbed and then not dying.
What I will say on a technical term, a lightsaber is so hot that it would cauterize all bleeding. Yes. Like, you would not bleed. So like if it didn't hit any vital organs, you're not gonna bleed, and you're just gonna probably walk around with a hole in your gut. So
exactly.
But I think it's weird, like, again, she was, like, chasing Luke after being stabbed by a lightsaber. It was like, ooh, I think your abdominal muscles would at least be, like, sore.
Also, like, how long of a time span was it between her getting stabbed and then her getting detached? Like, I feel like it's like you have to, like, crawl, like, to get to your ship, get out of it, then, like, find where they are. It's like, how are you not passed out by this point? like, that's insane.
Either a tank or just lightsabers have been getting nerfed. Like, there's no... There's no plan.
No, I think overall the season was very good. I dug episode 1 and 2 a lot. Don't really remember 3. Episode 4 and 5 were like meh, but I was interested and engaged, and I think episode 6 was really good. So I enjoyed it as a whole. I think it's better than Book of Boba Fett. It might be better I think it might be better than season 2 of Mandalorian. It's not better than season 1 of Mandalorian.
No.
But I think I might put it as the second favorite Star Wars show and season at this point. I just dug it. I think at the core of it, it's an Obi-Wan. It's called Obi-Wan. And I think at the core of it, it talks about his like relationship and his feelings about like living in this post like Order 66 world and what the state of the Jedi are and how he's like damaged from it. And I think it explores that really well. And you kind of see by the end, he like changed a lot from it, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think one thing that I do want to touch on that I thought they did really well is like they did a good job at showing that Obi-Wan like had a lot of trauma from all of his experiences, but then he was like still a strong character with that, where like he didn't like he basically had a panic attack the first time that he learned that Vader even existed. Like that was that like showed a lot, where it's like that carried a lot of weight. But then it's like it's showing where it's like, okay, but he's not letting that like control him, but he's still dealing with all of this stuff. It's like he doesn't just like brush aside the fact that it's like, oh yeah, you know, my Padawan that I had trained for like 10 years that I had to murder because he destroyed the entire galaxy. Yeah, he's back, and now he's a cyborg that's murdering everybody again,
and wants to kill me,
and wants to kill me very dead. And instead of him just being like, whatever, all right, we ball, let's go. He's like actually has like a real emotional response to that, which I thought they did a really good job with.
Yeah. I mean,
I do think the big weakness of the show is there's a lot of like things in it where you're like, I'm not sure that would play out that way, or that's a little bit ridiculous. Like we talked about, like Reva getting stabbed, and you're like, she probably wouldn't be able to walk over there. Or like I would be shocked. I forget what her name is, but like the girl who was like the undercover the Empire agent walking through the whole entire facility.
Yeah, literally didn't have to scan a thing.
It's like, and it's like no that way. Wouldn't happen. But ultimately, like those are like minor inconveniences. Like that's what I point to when I'm picking hairs between like what's my 4th and 5th favorite Marvel movie or whatnot. Not like if I enjoyed the season as a whole. Like I can deal with like plot. I can deal with some like
it's Star Wars. It's gonna be cheesy, like whatever.
Yeah,
like, there's some of those.
And I know Raj would be up here talking a little bit more about continuity. I have not finished all of Clone Wars, and I have not watched Rebels, so I don't know anything about that kind of continuity. As someone who's watched and like likes all of the, like to a certain extent, likes all of like the Star Wars movies that have been produced, it fits into continuity perfectly fine. I think if you hyper analyze Clone Wars and Rebels, there might be some like, ooh, that shouldn't have happened during this time, or like the Inquisitors weren't around at this time or whatnot. But like, I think if you're looking at it from like, I'm just following all the live action stuff, it works perfectly fine. I never like questioned it. The only thing I questioned was that Obi-Wan was supposed to be like in isolation, not doing anything. But I think they finished that really quickly. They were like, okay, for 10 days, he had to go save Leia and came back, and now he's going to go back in hiding.
Yeah.
I would love a season 2.
I don't know what they would do with it, but
I don't know either.
Love a season 2,
because I feel like him going off with Qui-Gon, because he was studying with Qui-Gon during this gap of time. That's why he was able to become a Force Ghost. Which I'm still confused how Anakin became a Force Ghost, because there's no way he trained to do that.
It's Anakin,
but whatever. I was thinking.
Ignore that detail.
Because he shows up, and I was thinking the other day, I was like, oh, yeah, well, Obi-Wan's gonna like learn how to become a Force Ghost, like he's gonna be training with Qui-Gon during this time before A New Hope. And then I was like, wait, there's no way Anakin was just like in his meditation chamber, or Darth Vader like, I am training to become a Force Ghost when I eventually die, so I can support my son that I don't know about.
Exactly. Or it's like in like the 30 seconds that he like takes off his helmet and he's like actually Anakin again before he dies on the Death Star. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, I know how to be a Force Ghost. Okay, bye.
I'll be back.
Don't worry about it.
I can't forget about. Let's go back to the episode. I loved when you could kind of hear Anakin's voice with when
Hayden
the
Christensen breaking through like in and out of like James Earl Jones and him. Oh, that was so good.
Because I was like, that's Anakin.
Yeah.
But then I was like, wait, but it's Darth Vader. It was like very, very tugged my own emotions. I was like, oh man, like I can understand like where Obi-Wan feels like in some sort of bind here.
Yeah.
So I'd be in a bind too.
I mean, I couldn't imagine trying having to do that a second time. Like
exactly.
It's awful to have to think about. Like you thought you did it the first time, and you kind of like you're so guilty about it. Then being in that situation and having to do that same thing a second time is just unimaginable.
Also, and also kind of a detail that you just made me think of, like right at the end, where Obi-Wan clearly beats Vader, and then he says to himself, like, oh, then my friend is truly dead. So he's like, so he's fully accepted that this is Darth Vader, this person is evil. He then just pieces out and doesn't kill this guy. It's like, what? Like, you just admitted that your friend is dead. And it's like, this is not him anymore. And this dude, is going to try and destroy everything that you stand for. And you're just like, all right, peace, bro. I'll see you later.
Yeah. I was thinking about it. I almost would have liked in that scene a little bit, maybe if like he was like kind of like more, not again, like that'd be cheesy, but it was like I will do what I must, and like almost like Qui-Gon came to him and was like, hey, this is not like your destiny is not to kill.
That would have been, I think, or like a whisper or something like small, or like see like the hesitation, and then he's like, I can't do it.
Yeah,
like even though I know this isn't my friend, like I still can't kill him. Versus him literally just walking away.
But I did enjoy it. I saw some people were still like that. I didn't like the fight. I enjoyed the fight. I thought they had some really cool physical elements to it, where like he was like bashing in his like respirator, but like he bashed in it with the butt of the lightsaber. It wasn't like he was just chopping with the light. It was like he's using every part of it. Like he blocked and then turned around and did that. Or like they showed a lot more force, which was cool. And some of the other fights is just like they don't really use the force at all in the fight on Mustafar. They had a lot of cool stuff with like the rocks or just like pushing them back, or I like seeing Vader like grab the lightsaber with the force again. That's just cool.
Yeah. There was also one part where like I know I could see it was a callback to episode 3 where like there's the one part where like Anakin goes behind the back and like blocks, and I saw Obi-Wan do that, but then I think Vader sucker punches him when he does that. I don't remember exactly because I think he goes around back and then just punches him in the face. Because like he like knows the move, so he's like, "Oh, okay, I'm just gonna give you a right hook real quick," and just like nail somebody. He's like, "Oh my god!"
That's actually really funny.
Yeah, that actually made me laugh. I was like, "That is so funny." Like Obi-Wan just wasn't expecting a street fight with him.
I also a little bit of a note is like in episode 3 when they had that fight, Obi-Wan goes, "I will do what you must," and then Anakin goes, "You will try." And this time he goes, "You'll die then." He's pretty much, he's like so much more confident. He's like,
"Yes,
you'll try to kill me." This time he's like, "You're not going to win." I mean, he still gets folded, but...
he still gets folded, yeah. But
it's really wild that this terrible, like, these terrible lines, like, from episode 3 are, like, things that we love now.
Yeah.
Like, they're just not good at all.
Like, let's go! Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter. See, it doesn't matter if they're corny. If they're iconic and they have, like, emotional, like, weight to them... It's how you remember things. It's like
who in a fight says from my point of view, like you're
from my point of view, the Jedi are evil. It's like you could just
respectfully, you are wrong.
It's like if you say I think, that implies that's from your point of view. So why are you just stretching that out? It's like from my point of view. It's like you just say I think the Jedi are evil. Like what are we saying?
Or just be like, the Jedi are evil. Like,
just say that. It's like obviously
like you clearly believe it. Like you can kill him.
That's stuff like that is so funny. Or Obi-Wan walking up to Luke saying hello there, knowing damn well that he said the same thing to a murdering cyborg with 4 arms. He's just like, hello there. It's like, why would you do that?
I actually, when he was walking up, I was like, what is he going to say to him? Like, hi, I'm Ben.
Sup,
or like,
Ben.
Yeah, I was like, what is he going to say? And then he dropped the hello there. I was like, wow.
Wow, you really just did that.
Have you guys seen the thing on Instagram with like 3 hello there's?
Yeah, because it's because the funny part was the Clone Wars animated show actually they made it a callback in episode 3 when Obi-Wan says it. It's actually really funny because it's like in the Clone Wars, it's Grievous that says it to Obi-Wan, so that when Obi-Wan drops down in episode 3, it's like him saying it back to Grievous.
That's cool.
But then it's like, why are you saying this to this kid then? He had nothing to do with this.
He doesn't even know who you are.
Exactly.
Like if you have like enough class.
Yeah, now it is. Exactly. He just stole it from General Grievous. He's like, that's mine now.
All right, so what are we giving this out of 10? Wrap up our thoughts on this.
Are we doing decimal points, or are we just doing...
We can do decimal points, yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'll just give it a solid 80. I'll just give it an 80.
We give it an 8.5.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna give it like an 8.5 too.
Yeah.
Right around that range. I thought
Perfect.
Very good. I'll take 1.5 points off for like stupid things, inconveniences, but like overall good show.
Yeah.
I was impressed. I think I would have preferred a movie.
Yeah, but we'll take what we can get.
We can't have nice things.
Exactly.
So, but that is going to conclude our Obi-Wan review. So if you are watching the YouTube video of just the review, head over to the full-length podcast. We're going to continue talking about random stuff. And if you're listening to the podcast, don't leave.
Please.
Anyway, what I did want to talk about is with the Obi-Wan wrapping up, I feel like there's been a lot of content out recently. Yes. Not even just like in that world, but like sports and like, I mean, it makes sense it's summer, but sports, movies, TV, like just things that like are coming out now. Like the NBA draft is happening like as we speak.
As we speak, yeah.
Obi-Wan just wrapped up. Miss Marvel is currently like airing every week. Mm-hmm. Lightyear just dropped. Like, there's other movies that are coming out. And then like even for like someone like me who follows track and field, like the US track and field championships are up and then the world championships are in a month. And I'm like, a lot is like dropping right now, which is super exciting. And I feel like a lot of it's like very good, especially in terms of like content wise. I've heard good things about Lightyear. Miss Marvel has been really good. I've really enjoyed what they've done. And I thought Obi-Wan was good. So I'm like, vibes are good in terms of content right now.
Yeah, I would say really cool. That Miss Marvel, I think, is on pace to be my favorite Marvel TV show. And I don't think it would really even be close. I think I think all aspects of the show are good, like for the most part. Yeah, like, I think it's like it just gives me like Spider-Man-ish vibes, just because like the
origin story where it's like a kid growing up.
It's just like thing. It's like a different change of pace. It's like more lighthearted, and I think that's good in the MCU. I think they're doing it well. I think the actress is doing well.
Yeah.
So I've really enjoyed that. My friend Will, who's tearlessly posted on the Instagram a little bit ago, he put me on The Boys on Amazon Prime. That is really, really good. So, for those of you that don't know what The Boys are, it's basically a superhero TV show where like the superheroes are like kind of being turned into a business, and it's a corrupt business at that. So it's just really.
Wait, hold on. This sounds like what Haja was trying to do in Obi-Wan, where he was trying to pretend to be a Jedi and get money.
Exactly what it is. That's basically what it is. Just the company's corrupt. The superheroes are kind of just awful. It's like it's a different take on superheroes, and I like it. It's also very gory.
I've seen it. I was just about to say I've seen it.
Interesting.
I haven't seen like a full season yet, but I have seen a decent amount of it. And it's almost like a more realistic take on superheroes, where like they play into the more of like, you know, like when a super speedster tries to like catch somebody, and it's like, oh, they saved the day. It's like, well, if somebody actually hit them going at like Mach 5, you're not actually going to catch them. You're just going to turn them into a liquid. So it's like stuff like that. And also like, it's a really, really good show. Like from what I have seen, I really
might have to watch.
Yeah, it's definitely something to put on the list. And if anybody's actually is going to watch The Boys, I also recommend Invincible. It's an animated show. I'm sure that everybody's probably heard about or seen probably parts of that show that are absolutely brutal. But kind of like that similar idea of like sort of like evil-ish superheroes, more like a realistic take on them. It's kind of like almost like a Superman origin story a little bit too, with Invincible, which is actually the name of the superhero. Yeah. Mark, but it's a really good show as well, so that's another thing to tack onto the list for you, Justin. So now that you have plenty of free time.
This biochem class ending has just been like it's like now suddenly my mind's feeling like what can I watch?
Exactly.
But I had to suspend my Glee watching. Like I had mentally, like after I got off the bus on Sunday because I went back home this weekend, I was like, okay, Justin, you cannot watch another episode. I had finished season 3. I was like, you cannot watch another episode until you're done the class, because I know I can get like roped in, or I can be like, it's fine. So the only content I really had watched was the Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel yesterday. But it's like Miss Marvel, I'm excited because I didn't feel. What was the last show that came out? I lose my mind. Oh, Moon Knight. Like I didn't feel at all, and some of it was because I think Moon Knight was ending during. Was Moon Knight airing during the year ending with finals? I think it was.
Maybe.
So like Moon Knight I think Moon Knight was occurring over when we were doing finals, so we got really busy and I wasn't following it, but like I didn't care that much about Moon Knight. Like I was kind of just like, okay, I'll watch it when it comes out. But like after watching the first episode of Miss Marvel, I'm like, I want to see the episode ASAP so I can like talk about it and so that I like have an opinion on it, and I'm excited for like the next week where I just did not feel that way about some of the other MCU shows. So that's been exciting, and hopefully I can get back to watching Glee so then I can finish the rest. We're halfway there through Glee. It probably won't take me long to get through the rest of the 3 seasons, if we're being honest.
Just grind that out.
I just find the way, man. Like, it's like, okay, if I'm gonna go brush my teeth, like get ready for bed,
Throw some Glee on
I'll throw it on for 15 minutes, and then I get back to my bed. I'm like, all right, well, I gotta finish the episode before I head to bed, and then it's like 1 episode's down.
It's like, oh, well, might as well just start the next one, and then
I wake up in the morning, go like make myself breakfast. Glee's playing on my phone.
Yeah.
And then it's like I'm eating breakfast, I watch it. I get on the bus to go to work, I watch it, and then suddenly we're done 2 episodes and just powered away like that.
Exactly.
The concept of superheroes for like a show like The Boys is like super fascinating because like there's so many avenues of superheroes. I think when like you do something unique, describing like what the life of a superhero would be like, then that's like really interesting for like the audience. And that's why like Spider-Man Homecoming is so good, is because like I think it's one of the first, like, you are a high school kid and a superhero. Like, all the other Spider-Men, like, had them in high school, but they weren't really, like, acting like high school kids.
Tobey
like,
Maguire was 30 years old in high school. Like, let's be real here.
Let's say how it is.
Yeah.
So, that sounds super cool. I think anytime you offer, like, a fresh new take on something, it's like, you get people interested, whether it's
in terms of power scaling, the most powerful hero in the board, or superhero in the board would get destroyed by a hero, Invincible. Well, what's his face? Omni-Man.
Yes.
Omni-Man. Kill Homelander. Yes. Yeah. Let me be close.
Homelander.
There's actually the death battle in it too. I was talking to my friend about it, and he said, I was like, what's the power scaling like? Like, how would Homelander do? And he said, there's actually that battle. So,
exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, even though, like, Invincible's a knockoff of DC, and this is basically, like, I don't know the timing of it all, but, like, in terms of power scaling, it's another knockoff. Like, it's really, really well done. Like, you wouldn't expect heroes to have, like, talking points and stuff like that. Like, it's a legitimate business. So it's really, really different. I like it.
But you could easily convince me that in a world they would want to make a corrupt business out of superheroes because they're superheroes.
They're superheroes. Like everybody's already buying them. So like if they were real, like
our society would totally buy superheroes.
Exactly.
Like, what are you talking about? So no, that's interesting. Peter, you been watching anything else going on?
Not really, because I just finished up Invincibles the first season. That was kind of the thing that I was busy watching. But yeah, because I have not caught up on Miss Marvel yet. I've only seen the first episode, I will admit. So I need to get on that. But
you're missing out. Honestly, though, at this point, like you could probably just wait till the next episode and
just like watch them both.
I don't know how many episodes are in this season. I don't know if it's.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know if it's like a 6 episode thing
or 8 episode. I feel like it's going to be 6, but
yeah. But I will absolutely agree with you guys because that was actually something that I said on. I think it might have been the Doctor Strange review that we put out recently. But it was about how like I kind of hated how basically every single thing in Marvel was like the end of the universe or the end of the multiverse. So like kind of coming back to like this much more character driven story where it's like just like it's just a story about this person like dealing with this stuff. I really like that angle of it because it's like there's just something so charming about it where it's like, you know, it's this girl trying to just like figure it out and it's like trying to like live that double life and then like I just really do love like that kind of story. So I will absolutely get back into Miss Marvel.
And in terms of like cultural representation, like they've been doing. I'm not gonna try to spoil anything that happens, so they've been doing like a fantastic job of just like diving into the culture without shoving it in your face. I feel like Falcon Winter Soldier kind of like wanted to like shove in some diversity towards the end of their season, and it didn't work out well because they tried to cram it in and made it forced. But Miss Marvel's doing a fantastic job of just like showing you what an Indian family is doing in their life. They're Indian or Pakistani.
I think Raj said they're Pakistanis. Yeah.
Pakistani. But like they're showing you like what that culture is like through their life and not trying to be like, we should be accepting and everything. It's like, no, they're just like showing you like what goes on in their life.
Exactly.
And there's some cool, like they show like the inside of a mosque or how like those proceedings take place. And it's like, that's actually really cool. I've never seen like what goes on inside like a mosque before. Or like even if you see like how the family interacts, and like it's great because we saw a wedding in the 3rd episode. And they do the thing where they hide like the groom's shoes.
Exactly.
And I was like, Raj talked about that on episode 9 of the podcast. So I was like, this is great.
Exactly. It's like, I know that thing. I saw that.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I just really enjoyed that part of it too, because I just haven't like, at no point was I like, oh yeah, they're forcing it down my throat. They're just like letting it happen. And Bruno is a great side character. Like here, you'll see some more of him. But I think like his side character, I'm like, I'm rooting for Bruno. Like, let's go, Bruno. But it's really confusing because then Encanto came out, and every time I hear his name, I'm like, we don't talk about Bruno.
That's pretty good.
Jacob, I'm going to bet $10 you haven't seen Encanto.
Oh my god.
I'm going to see this. Like I'm going to be seeing the Toy Story movie. I mean, not Toy Story movie. That's bad.
We're off to a great start.
Like Toy Story was my favorite Pixar movie growing up, so I have to see this. Like this is different.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Have you guys seen that Lightyear is getting like bombed?
No.
Oh my god!
Now?
It's because there's a same-sex kissing scene.
It's because of I literally saw the clip on TikTok. I kid you not, is less than a second. It's like, I guess it's probably from like the end of the movie, whatever. It's like when they come back for their final mission, or whatever, and it's like the 2 women kissing and then walking away. That is it. That is it. And people are losing their minds. I'm like, that's it? Like,
it's absolutely mind-boggling. Like, not only that, like you have the opinion that that action is wrong,
exactly.
That you would boycott a movie
that is so
because of it. Like,
it's like my kid can't see this.
Their opinion's wrong. Your morals are wrong, and like you're gonna dictate what you do in your life because of what they show in a movie. Like, I don't want like any of my kids doing half the crap these people do in movies because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, like
I wouldn't want my like son or daughter like running through the street trying to fight crime as a superhero. Like, no, thank you, but I'm not gonna like boycott them watching the movie.
Like, obviously, like, oh my god, that was just such a wild thing that I saw. I was like, there's no way people are actually mad at a kids movie right now because of that. Mm-hmm. And like, I was expecting something so much more egregious than that, and it was like, it wasn't even like, because obviously, as we've already established, like there's nothing wrong with any of that, but it's like I was expecting it to be like a much more like in your face, like this is like much more almost like pandering essentially, versus like the way they handle it is like exactly how it should be handled. It's just a normal thing that happens. It's like, yeah, she has a wife. Get over it.
Well, the same thing. Like some like Middle Eastern countries didn't want a Doctor Strange in the Multiverse Madness aired because it referred to America Chavez's moms.
Yeah, and they're in it for like 30 seconds.
And I don't even think they're kissing. I don't even know if they're holding hands.
They might hold hands. They might do that.
But it's more about the reference that she has 2 moms, and you're like, what?
Like that's it. Like,
and when you see the headline, like, oh, Lightyear tanks at box office due to same-sex scandal or whatnot, and it's like, what scandal, what tank, like,
it's so funny because I remember when I first saw that I was like, oh, like maybe it's more in your face. Then I thought of it, I'm like, it's a Pixar movie, like it's not gonna be anything like what exactly, like what is this, like it's like it's not gonna be a sex scene or anything, like this is a kids movie.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I heard like same sex scene, and I was like, oh man, like this is really risky for Pixar. And then it was like, I saw Chris Evans tweeting about it because Chris Evans is infuriated about it.
Rightfully so. Yeah.
He's defending Pixar.
Yes.
And I was like, what the heck is this? So I think we're seeing that this weekend. So that should be exciting. Maybe we'll talk about it on the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it kind of came out of nowhere. Like I knew it was happening, and then suddenly it was like, oh, it's coming out this month, and I was like, oh, I thought that was like because they've released so many projects like in MCU and Pixar that are coming out in like the year, I don't know, like 2026 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I guess when it came out, like probably in 2019, 2020, I was like 2022, so far away.
That's not a real number.
That's not a real number. Like we're not going to get there. And then all of a sudden it's like,
here we are.
Oh, we're here.
Yeah.
That's what I feel about some of the MCU projects. Like I remember when Black Panther 2, now they're calling it, what are they calling it?
It's like, Kingdom or something? It's like something like that. Hang on, I'll look it up.
Yeah, they're whatever the title is. They're like, I was like, I heard that it was coming out like 2023 or 2024. And at the time, I was like, oh my god, like that's so far away. We're like never gonna get to it. And then now all of a sudden it's like a year away. I think it's coming out in November.
Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever. I knew Wakanda
like
was the title.
3 years, like
Wakanda
3 years
Forever.
ago. Right? Yeah. It was like 3 years ago.
Okay, yeah, 3 years ago. Yeah,
like that's absolutely
Infinity
insane.
War was like 4.
And like I was on TikTok earlier.
That's wild.
Stuff about like the MCU. Like that Infinity War trailer is so perfect. Like there's like absolutely nothing wrong with it. It has one of my favorite Thanos lines ever. Like it was just so good. Then in Endgame wasn't as good. Like it wasn't even close. But like just coming back and looking at some of the trailers, I can't think of one that was better than that.
Yeah.
You can't like the Endgame and trailer was like would have ruined what happened, but Infinity War was so like here are the stakes.
Yeah.
So it's there's no like you were so hyped because you were like, oh my god, like it's war. But Endgame was like you couldn't be like they couldn't like show that they were time traveling or anything.
No, exactly.
Spoilers for Endgame. They couldn't.
3 years later.
Yeah. They couldn't say they were time traveling because it would have ruined like part of like the.
There's only so much they could do, really. Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, an Infinity War trailer is absolutely bomb. I'm trying to think of any other trailers that I've just like Cobra Kai trailers hype. Like let's just like put that out there. Any Cobra. I'm already up doing the Cobra Kai. I'm like, let's go. And we lost Peter. We're down to 2 hosts.
Honestly, his loss.
We're down to
his way of life.
All right, there we
go. Bro, you're
God. You guys are the worst.
What's everyone's favorite sitcom?
They came out of
came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't want to be generic and just say The Office, but like I love it
I would
so
say,
much.
I mean, it's arguably the best sitcom.
Like, I have heard it's a very good show, and I will say, because my sister's been trying to get me to watch New Girl forever. And my girlfriend has finally got me to watch it. And oh my god, there are some lines in that date that show so hard back in 2012. It like actually caught me off guard. I was like, that is hilarious, but also horrible. But like, it's so funny.
There's some stuff in Glee that I'm like, I can't believe they said that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was talking about the last time. I was like, that was like low key, like racist.
Yeah, there's some stuff on like New Girl that it's like that just came out of absolutely nowhere. I'm like, you cannot say that today. Like this aired on national television. It's just wild how much times change.
I love Big Bang Theory.
No, for sure.
Really
Big Bang Theory.
Actually, I just liked it.
It's good, and you just like it's just enjoyable. Like there's so many side plots going on.
I can't watch that.
Young Sheldon's also really funny.
Dude, there's no way that is a good show.
It's funny. It's funny.
I don't know why. Because just watching the commercials for that show just make me angry. I don't know why.
Because Georgie is such a brick.
Yeah.
So any scene he is in is funny because he's so stupid, and Missy's such a brat, and then Sheldon's like in college as like a 5-year-old. So like, it's just like the whole mix of it. It's just like everything here is like ludicrous.
Oh my god.
And they're like in the middle of East Texas. Like Georgie's an idiot, Missy's a brat, and Sheldon's like weird. So you're just like, wow, this is a messed up family here.
That's
I haven't watched it in a while. After I like binged Big Bang Theory, I was like, well, naturally, I gotta go watch Young Sheldon. And then like I had stopped. I had eventually caught up to when the show was like airing.
Yeah.
And then I had stopped because I was like, well, I gotta wait for like new episodes to come out. I just hadn't like gotten back to it. So one day we'll finish out Young Sheldon. I think it's still airing.
Yeah. I've seen parts of that. It's there are some parts of that are really, really.
It's probably like out of the, if I were to rank like the big three being like The Office, Parks and Rec, and then I guess Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I would say it's 3, but I still like really did enjoy it. Like there's some pretty funny characters to it, so Highly recommend that. Highly recommend
Mhm.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Absolutely hilarious. They probably have like one of the best like cold opens, like I would say, out of like sitcoms I've seen. So there's like one
Love a
episode
good
in
cold
particular
open.
that like
Like
the
in
cold
every
open is
episode, or like in the
fantastic.
first episode?
But like they always, I would say they do have like a
Oh,
pretty
okay,
good,
I see.
like, cold opens. Like nothing is like good as the stress relief, like
Nice.
Dwight setting the office on fire, but it's so pretty.
Oh my god, that is like, again, like I always feel like such like a generic person for saying how much I love The Office, but like some of those scenes are just so unbelievably funny watching that for the first time. Like anything where it's like Dwight as in the cold open immediately had me like rolling, like every time. Or like when Jim would like pop the medicine ball or something that he was sitting on, just like out of nowhere. Like, oh my god, that stuff had me dying.
The best kind of humor is like when people do things that are just like, why did you do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's so stupid, but like something like just like pulling
It's
a chair
so
out of
of
under
left
someone,
field. Yeah, it's like, what is happening?
or like someone just at their desk and you just like shove them on the ground. And obviously, it's like in a TV show, not in like real life. And you're just like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Anything
God.
out of left field is great.
Yeah, so good, so good.
So before the pod, we were also talking about the draft, and like that had me thinking,
Yes.
how would it, like, I don't know, I don't think we take enough like into account enough. Like, how would it feel to be drafted like against a field of people? Like, I just like kind of realized like if you get drafted for someone's like, yeah, you were good, but like you weren't the best in this class. Like you worked really hard to
Like
get here,
so
but you're only like
tough
the
what
fourth
you're
best,
saying,
and we're not even sure if you'll be good.
Yeah, that's
That's,
really
like-
true.
I hate being drafted like fourth in like kickball. Like when they're like team captains, I'm like, damn, like I'm not fourth. Like I'm the best one out here. And I'm like,
yeah, they're
and imagine
losing
like the
money the lower
NBA
they
draft.
go
Like
in the
these
draft.
people actually have like
it should
livelihoods
even,
and like
it should mean even more.
on it. I'm just like,
I don't know.
Literally, yeah.
spoiler alert for the NBA draft, but like Jabari Smith fell down to 3, and it's like he was supposed to go 1. Like a lot of people were thinking he was going to go 1 throughout the week, and it's like you probably just lost like a $2, $3, $4 million signing bonus.
Yeah,
The number one pick in the draft
overall is
yeah, number like the number 1 pick always gets more attention and stuff. So it's like you lost kind of a lot not going number 1 when people thought you were going to go number 1.
And that's just
So
like
it's-
splitting hairs at that point, where it's like we know that's like there wasn't like a definitive like true number 1 overall pick. Like I think there really haven't been in like any draft recently. There hasn't been,
Zion.
like,
I don't think
Maybe.
anyone thought Ja was. I thought Ja should have been drafted before Zion, but I
Ooh,
mean,
take that L, Jacob.
I think people's naturally when like there's like a really strong athlete out there, and this is not even an athlete, when anyone's good at anything in life, there's always someone being like, hey, hold up, they're not that good. So like I think a lot
There's
of
always
people
the
were like,
critics,
a lot of people were like, oh yeah, I would draft Ja over Zion. Like Zion's overrated just to like get a soundbite or whatnot.
Yeah.
But no one thought Zion wasn't going 1.
Yeah.
Like that's the reality situation. Same thing with LeBron. I read something on Freezing Cold Takes. It was like someone wrote about why Darko would be a better pick at number 1 than LeBron James. And it's like there's a lot of bad takes out there. LeBron James is the first or the second greatest basketball player to ever play basketball. And Darko, I don't think played in the league for more than 3 years.
Like that, honest. Like as much as we joke, that might be the worst.
Michael Jordan didn't get drafted number 1 overall.
Yeah, it might be
genuinely.
because
Hakeem got drafted over him, but I can't remember. There's one guy in between Hakeem.
no, he's number 3.
When Hakeem got drafted, when Jordan got drafted. But he was good. But like the guy after, like
Hakeem the Dream. Yeah.
Okay, low key, Darko.
Yeah. He wasn't Michael Jordan. Yeah.
Low key, Darko had like a better career than I thought. I mean, he wasn't good, but like
Compared to LeBron James.
he averaged 18 and a half minutes a game, 6 points, 46% shooting.
6 points?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not like a good career at all. And he like even these years he played like 34 games, 37, 30, 25, 30, 80, 70, 61. Like he was always like hurt, not playing a ton of games. Bouncing around between teams. He played on like 5, 6 it looks like. But I mean, there's being wrong about something, and there's being like
just saying it for the sake of saying it.
Because he could have said, look, he could have wrote LeBron James will be a great player. I just think Darko will be better. He wrote that LeBron James was bad, that Darko was going to be great. It's like, you got wrong twice, buddy.
Yeah.
That's why I try not to say, like, I don't like to say that I don't think a player will be, like, really bad unless I'm, like, confident, or just have a personal vendetta against them.
Then that soundbite's just going to be out there forever of you saying this player is bad. They're just going to clip it into their whatever highlight reel.
It's like, who knows? Like, there's like, it's the same thing with the dad's always like, oh, my son's going to make it to the league, and he looks like an idiot.
Okay.
Have you seen the video of there's like this TikTok or whatnot, and like there's this like little overweight kid, and he like throws the ball to his dad or his mom, and he's like, think fast, and then the dad gets the ball, and then the mom's like, that kid, he's gonna be an athlete one day, and the dad throws the ball back and it just like slaps him in the side of the face.
I've seen that. I think it's for a show or something. Yeah, but I have seen that. It's so funny. It's like
that kid, he's gonna be a pro athlete one day.
Boom. It's like okay.
Yeah.
It's like, why'd you hit him? It's like, I thought he was gonna be a pro athlete.
Yeah, he should be able to react that fast.
Exactly. Oh, so good. Yeah, stuff like that, especially when kids are so young. And everyone's always hyping them up to be like the greatest player ever. And it's like, guys, I hate to break it to you. The amount of people that get drafted into whatever league is so unbelievably small compared to the enormous size pool of people playing. It's crazy how good you have to be in any major sport.
If you aren't an NBA All-Star, you're not considered one of the best basketball players in the NBA. And they draft like 30 of them at most.
Yeah.
30 people. Like, you can be an NBA player and make money. But if you want to be like one of the best, you need to be like the top 30 in the NBA.
Yeah. That's like 30 people.
Yeah, it's like a astronomically low number. So like, kudos to all that get there. But like, reality is, and like, I know people don't like hearing this, like, hard work might only get you so far.
Doesn't work hard.
Yeah, like, that's the thing.
There's a quote
hard
from
work
someone
pays off when talent doesn't work, but you still have to be talented. That's the thing. Like, as much as I love that quote, it's like, all right, the guy that's 5'6" might outwork the guy that's 6'10", but who's actually going to go into the league? Like, let's be real here.
I was thinking about this. I was playing basketball at my house the other day, just like shooting around. Like, Jacob, you're considered, like, a lot of people look at you and say, Jacob, you are tall.
That's crazy.
Short, you would be an undersized NBA point guard,
which is insane.
Or like properly sized. Like, you're not even like, you would not even be considered like a long athletic defender. No.
You'd be like slightly like average or below average point guard.
Centers would see you on a switch and go, I want him.
I feel like wide wingspan, but like if I'm just like, it's not. Yeah.
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's useless. Yeah.
My arms are also long for my like for my height, and I'm like, I'm 5'10". I'm not even close to making the league. Like, we call Isaiah Thomas like super short for the NBA. Isaiah Thomas like 1 inch smaller than I am, or like the same height as I am, or something like that. Like, the smallest players in NBA history who have like these success stories for being like short kings, like most of the time they're taller than me.
Yeah. Or it's like how everybody like calls Steph Curry undersized, and he's like 6'1", 6'2". It's like, what?
And pretty jacked.
He's like I think he's probably around 200. Like especially after this season, like he looked big, like compared to his past. Yeah, he put on some muscle. So like the fact that he is considered a small point guard is out of this world.
Steph Curry's listed as 6'2", 185.
Which is no way he is 185.
But also, that's like the same. That's the same weight as like.
That's me. That is literally me. I am 6'2", 185.
Yeah, but Chet is 185.
Yeah, Chet is 7 feet tall. That's what I was saying before the podcast. Chet, okay, the guy that just got drafted to the Oklahoma City Thunder is 7 feet tall, probably 7'1", 185 pounds. I have him listed at 190. There's no way he's 190. He weighs the same amount as I do. And I am basically a foot shorter than him.
More.
Like,
How tall are you?
I'm like 6'2", so like right around a foot taller than me. Like,
Yeah,
that is insane. Like, can we please get this guy a sandwich for the love of God?
So what's really interesting about Chet, and if you like read up on him, he's actually like a really cool guy. He was actually like he was in the streets, mind you, at 7'2" for like all the George Floyd riots in Minnesota.
Wow.
Like he like put his 6'2" body frame and like got in on like the protesting action in Minnesota. 'Cause that's where he lives. But he like his family's got money. And he's like, they've mentioned like how he like, no, they've been working on his weight for like years, which is like more concerning. It's not like he's like, and some people are just like that, and I'm sure like, they'll find different things at the NBA level, but it's like,
just do the Zion method, just eat all of the gumbo imaginable.
Use your whole NBA contract and buy gumbo for the team.
Just buy gumbo for yourself, and then eat the entire pint of ice cream whole with the outside and the spoon. Everything.
The hand.
and just to the dome. But yeah.
What is some of like the most like
No, that's the thing. We love Zion. We just want to see him play basketball, and he's not going to do that if he's 800 pounds.
It's more funny if we keep calling him if we keep calling him fat and he wins his title, it'll be like it almost add to his narrative, right? Like I'll be like, well, Zion's one of the greatest players of all time because he did all this and he was fat.
Yeah.
And it might be completely incorrect, but you know what? You can just say that.
Yeah.
It's being like LeBron James has never like you can put him at 9th in your all time list. Be like LeBron James really has never won an NBA title if you think about it.
Oh yeah, all the asterisks next to every single title. That is one of the funniest tweets I've ever seen. Where it's like some random bench player on the Warriors was injured. It's like, oh, it's a Mickey Mouse ring, doesn't count.
Yep.
Like, what are you talking about? It's literally
I love putting asterisks because you can put an asterisk by anything.
Oh, anything if you want, anything.
Yeah, what would you do for like this recent NBA Finals? You'd just be like Robert Williams. He was playing, but everyone knew he had a knee injury. And it's like I don't know if it's enough to say it's a Mickey Mouse ring and be like Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum got hurt during the Heat series.
Yeah, if Jason Tatum didn't lose his confidence, that's the wrap.
That's seriously the wrap.
You're lucky that Jason Tatum lost his confidence.
Yeah, you're lucky. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. Or
dude,
my favorite.
Warriors shouldn't have made the finals, bro. Like. They're lucky the Suns didn't get out of there.
Exactly.
Mickey Mouse.
They're lucky that DeAndre Ayton didn't even look at the basket. Oh my god, that's so true. You could just make statistics just whatever you want. Like
if that role player didn't hit that shot, man, we would have had him.
Exactly.
Ray Allen didn't hit that three. You mean the thing he's supposed to do?
Yeah. You mean his job?
What he's paid at $10 million a year to do is to make threes. He bailed him out.
Exactly. Oh, he just bailed out with this person. Oh, so his team won the game. Well, he didn't do it himself. Yeah, no duh. It wasn't a 1v5 the entire time. It doesn't make sense.
I was just going to say this. I'm going to call my shot right now. The Pelicans will win the championship before the 76ers or the
I 100% agree. I would not take a bet on that.
Or the Knicks.
Or the Knicks. That's
well. The Knicks are never going to win a title again.
How about instead it's will the Pelicans win the championships before the Knicks make the playoffs? Because I think that's a better deal there.
Yikes! Well, hold on. If you guys trade for Kyrie, you might make the playoffs.
We'll have him like once a year.
I think the Pelicans championship window opens next year.
Once Zion's back, I think that's when it really opens up.
So I think they are in title contention starting next year. And probably for the next 4 years after that. So I'm not going to take them to win the title next year. They wouldn't even be probably in my top 5. But if you told me that Zion, Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, and some good role players and good coaching made the NBA Finals last year with a little bit of luck, I would not be shocked at all. There's a lot of teams like that in the NBA. I think sports as a whole, I think we talked about this on one of the episodes of the podcast, sports as a whole is really competitive right now. There's a lot of good talent everywhere. There are a ton of teams I think that could win that Super Bowl. There are a ton of teams I think that could win the NBA title next year. I think the Bucks could win the NBA title next year. I think the Celtics could win the NBA title. I think the Sixers could win the NBA title next year. I think the Warriors could win the NBA title. I think Memphis, Phoenix, Pelicans. Oh, there's a team I'm forgetting. Mavericks. I think the Nets, if they stay together, could win the title.
Yeah.
So I'm at 9 teams, and I might be missing someone. I don't think the Heat can.
That's personal. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Don't talk about the
Heat. Don't talk about the Heat. I hate you. I hate you. You just have beef with the Heat.
Absolutely no good reason.
Because the Heat are overrated.
How? They almost made the finals.
Literally, how?
They lost in 6. They were the number 1 seed.
Well, the Celtics
they lost in
6.
6.
Were like that.
Oh, actually, they lost in 7.
Oh my god!
I think the Heat are an overrated basketball team.
What do you think of the set?
If the Heat are so good, tell me why all this time they're talking about adding Bradley Beal to the team, Kyrie Irving to the team. Like they're talking about adding a superstar level player to their team. So if they're so good, why do they need to add a superstar? You don't hear.
Why would you ever not want a superstar on your team? That makes no sense.
Because you don't want to give up your role players, but their problem is they're not good enough. That's the problem.
God.
I don't hear. Do you hear the war? They are better than the Sixers right now, but also Joel Embiid was hurt for the first two games with an orbital fracture. He had a torn ligament in his thumb. James Harden was playing on half a hamstring, traded mid-season. Their third best player on the team was in his second year in the NBA. So you know what? They probably should be better than the 76ers. And even if they're not, it doesn't matter. That's what we're talking about here because the Sixers obviously need to make changes. And I don't think they're going to make that many changes. I think they're going to tweak some pieces around. The Heat are talking about adding a superstar level player to the team. And people are like, they're already really good. Like, I think they've gotten very lucky these last few years. And obviously they're a gritty team. They play hard. But a lot of other teams in the NBA right now, you don't hear them. Like, no one thinks that the Suns need to add a superstar. No one thinks the Warriors need to add a superstar. The Memphis needs to add a superstar. Like, there's not many teams, even like the Celtics and the Bucks and the Sixers. No one's talking about they need a superstar. Everyone's talking about how the Heat, they should go out and sign Bradley Beal.
Because what superstars are on this team? It's Jimmy Butler.
That's why they're not that good.
Okay,
so then
another superstar.
Because everyone's saying that the Heat are a very good basketball team. And if you think the Heat are a very good basketball team, then you should think that their pieces are enough that they should just run it back and go for the title or like tweak some pieces here and there.
Yeah, so the tweak is another superstar because they don't have
tweak.
That.
That's a whole damn construction job.
Oh my god!
It's like UPMC Presbyterian getting an addition.
What do you want from them then? Just to add more role players that aren't going to do that? Like do the job of a superstar?
They're welcome to add a superstar, but don't tell me that they're already a really good basketball team.
They are. They're a welcome. They have pretty team that needs another thing. Oh
0% chance. I'm doing the first take. 0% chance to win the title next year.
You are the worst.
0% chance that they don't add a superstar.
You literally just hate Miami, and you're just changing how you think. Oh my god!
Miami has 0 shot to win the title next year if they don't add a superstar.
Suck.
That is not a good
team. Like that is like one of the worst things I have ever heard. Is they are not allowed to add a superstar because they should be good enough to begin with.
No. I think they should add a superstar because I don't think they're good enough. But everyone's like, oh, the Heat, really good basketball team.
Because they are! What do you want from them? They were the number 1 team in the East and they made it to the semifinals.
Then maybe they don't need to add anyone then. If they're so good, they should just run it back.
Because why would you not want another superstar on your team?
The Bucks don't need another superstar on their team. They lost in the second round.
Besides, we're not talking about the Bucks. Why would you not want to add a superstar?
Phoenix Suns lost in the second round. They're not going to add a superstar.
Yeah, because they're they're going to trade Ayton for somebody else.
Not a superstar. Maybe some role players.
Yeah, because they have Chris Paul and Devin Booker already.
Hey, the Heat got Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Kyle Lowry is supposed to change lives down in Miami.
Bro, Kyle Lowry's ass couldn't stay in the series for the life of him. His hamstrings couldn't support it, okay? He and I don't got to be on the court.
The Kyle Lowry playoff experience is crazy. I don't know what was up with his hamstring. Like one day he was playing, the next day he wasn't. I was like, he was on courtside in these these outfits. And I was like, I don't know where Kyle Lowry's going.
Yeah, that was wild. So, yeah.
Someone from my hometown saw him today.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a like golf club in our area because I don't know. Kyle went to Nova, which is in Philly, and so I don't know if he still hangs out in Philly. I also don't know where he's from. He might be from Philly. I think he's from Philly, and it went to Nova, so I think he might live in Philly. So I'm guessing he was like in the area, which is rad. I don't know what I would do if I see a basketball player in person.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you just take a picture of them, but like
I don't know how I'd approach it. Like I saw Coach Narduzzi in person, and I was like, oh my god, a celebrity.
I would just say like
the football head coach.
If it's like a player if it's a player like a coach that you just can't like go without having taken a picture with, you gotta go for it. Like if Joel Embiid was out in the street and he was just walking it, he had a perfect opportunity for you to take a picture. Would you take a picture with Joel Embiid, Justin?
As long as I'm very big on like it would pain me, but I'm big on like respect. So like if they were even like remotely busy, I would probably just like stand from afar and like hope they notice me, and it'd be like, hey, I'd be like, what's up? You might come take a picture.
Would they be the one to initiate? Oh my god,
I don't want to approach them if they're busy doing anything. But like if there was a good opportunity, like if I was walking like through Times Square or something, and I saw like RJ Barrett pull up, it doesn't seem too busy.
If I saw
I'd be like,
Najee Harris out or just like Tua out or not, like no chance I'm gonna pass that up. I'm gonna be like, yo, I've been a fan.
I know.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't blame you. It would be unlikely I would pass it up too, but I'm saying like if they were like busy doing something, it'd be hard to like for me to be like put myself in that position.
It's a very like vulnerable position to like put yourself in because you're like, hey, can I get a picture?
Like I don't like they're still people too, and they have things to do.
Exactly.
So, like, I don't want to
bother them, but then also like, come on.
Yeah, when someone asks one too many things to me, I'm like, screw you. Like I don't want to deal with this right now.
Nick
I'm like, I can understand how professional athletes feel.
Or my high school's like in one of the basketball games, and obviously he wasn't there to be like just watching it like a high school basketball game. He was like looking to recruit a kid, so it was really. I can imagine that like. It's Nick Saban, you're in high school, you're probably going to want to take a picture with him. But at the same time, it's just trying to find that balance between, like, you know, he's here to do a job. So, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just, like, it's hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
When we were talking about Zion's weight, it got me thinking, like, what is, like, one food that like if like your job is to put on weight, like I'm not saying like for effectiveness, but like for taste and calorie intake, like what's the perfect food that you just like I could get fat off of like having this food like, multiple times a day.
In general?
That's hard. Just pure
to gain weight, but I'm saying your goal is not to be like the most effective here, but also like you do need to gain weight. So like
something that you just always eat.
Yeah, and that or that you really enjoy, that you would just eat frequently.
Honestly, I don't know. Like, I steak is like
those are two very
like
it's a basic answer.
If I had the option to have a steak and a pizza, I would definitely pick a steak. But at the same time, pizza is just like it's easier. I can like down more pieces. I don't know. I just like it's just different. So I think they're both attainable, like you know, possible. Oh, if gummy bears had a higher calorie count. But
I was going along the lines of like Reese's like peanut butter cups, like they're like 100 calories for like plus for like one. Like I could easily take down 10 within an hour.
Oh my!
So like that's like 1,000 calories right there. If we do that like 3-4 times a day, suddenly we're at like
a lot of calories, my friend. Now we're thinking with jet fuel. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Oh my god, I don't know what mine would be because like I just say or like if you go to Starbucks and you get like a frappuccino like type drink, it's just like 700, 800 calories of just like
that's great.
Since when were they that much?
It's really bad. Let me look.
It's probably just like it's probably like 80 grams of sugar in it, and it's like absolutely insane.
Mm.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm trying to think about what could I just eat so much of? Like, honestly, I could probably eat like an absurd amount of chicken fried rice because you could eat that at any time of the day. and it's like
I don't know if you can eat that for
just-
breakfast, my guy.
Oh, don't you dare! Oh my god, yes you can. Are you kidding me? That is amazing. But like, just like literally just shoveling that in my mouth, I could eat. Oh my god, I could eat so much of that, and it's like rice too, so that's like just
I'll do
all
you one better.
starch.
If it's from
That's
like a hibachi
piling
restaurant,
on.
like it's just
Yeah,
like
just-
completely fresh from hibachi. No. We can't do fucking- we can't do
Can we go
hibachi.
back to Sushi Bomb?
No.
Nah, I'm not ready yet. I'm
If you do hibachi, you're gonna have to go to
Not
the actual
yet.
hibachi place. No.
Are you saying that Sushi Bomb is not an actual hibachi place? I'm kidding. I know it's not. Yeah.
Okay, it's like 500. Okay, I overestimate. It's like 500 for a frappuccino, but that's still a lot. I could easily put down 2 of those, like
Yeah.
consistently on a
crazy.
day. Like, where's ice cream's also have? Nah, ice cream doesn't have enough calories.
It's like for how much you would have to eat. It's like
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah. The ratio is not there.
No, it's like what you just need like a very like dense, compact.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Rice, man. It's easy.
Yeah, but I would fill up on rice a lot. It absorbs a lot of water. So if you're drinking water and eating rice, then it just like, expands. So
Yeah, but then you just eat more.
also, I would be backed up for days. Like I would.
Well, obviously, like you just wanted to eat 10 like Reese's
I
peanut
put
butter
on
cups.
I put on weight because I wouldn't use the bathroom in like a week. Just eating rice every day.
Oh my god. Oh,
Now Reese's peanut butter
Jesus.
cup. My lactose intolerance, and I appreciate that.
it just cut right through you.
Sushi surprisingly has like a low amount of calories, so even though I like sushi,
We're not-
Yeah,
we're
because
still
it's
not
like
going back to
fish
Sushi
and like
Bomb.
rice.
Like,
That's really
rice, yeah.
We're not going back for like at least another
Yeah.
2-3 weeks.
Not yet. I was walking down Fifth the other day coming back from work, and I thought about sushi bomb, and I was like,
Cannot do that.
no. Like, that doesn't sound
Especially
good.
after trying that hibachi chicken.
We haven't made it back yet.
Oh my gosh, it was terrible. No, bro, it was just not good though. Like,
Bro, it was just because you were full.
I'm gonna have to because that
It just didn't
hibachi
taste
chicken
good. I don't know.
was
Just get the
awful.
teriyaki chicken next time.
And the rice
It's a
dip.
lot better. I'm hoping somebody saved that picture because I'm gonna try and outdo myself from last time.
Oh, with your stats?
yes,
Oh, I've got it. Yeah,
thank God.
we
Thank
posted
God.
it on the.
Oh
posted on
right,
the-
yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was impressive. I feel like I have to outdo myself now, which is like the problem.
That's a fair point, my friend.
Like, I don't know. It's just like this thing of like, you'd like do better than you did last time.
Yeah.
It's like, you mean I need to eat more than 4 sushi rolls and like shrimp fried rice? Like, yeah, that's healthy.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, that's how we pack on the calories. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how
You gotta do what you gotta do.
gotta do what you gotta
Well, I think with Jacob gone,
do.
just disappearing randomly, I think it's a good time to end the episode. So we hope everyone enjoyed listening to this episode of the Washed Athlete Podcast. A very random one, but had fun chatting with everyone. As always, if you enjoyed, please drop a like, subscribe. It really helps out the pod a lot. If you guys are on the podcast, like wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Music, drop a review, 5-star review, please. Helps out a lot. Go to our Instagram, like our posts. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Use code WASH20 at buckedup.com.
There we go.
Link will be in the description below, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace, everybody.